Good morning. Good morning, friends. Happy Sunday. Welcome to the Boise Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. We are a spiritually diverse, justice-seeking religious community proclaiming the power of love at the core of our living tradition. Love of neighbor, love for ourselves, and love for our planet. Whoever you are and wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are welcome here. Whatever faiths you have known, if any, whatever doubts you carry, you are welcome here. Whomever you love, however you identify, you are welcome here. Everyone is welcome here. I'm the Reverend Sara LaWall. I use she, her pronouns. I am honored to serve as your minister in this beloved community. I'm joined today by Carrie Bastian, our music director, who will be giving our sermon this morning. Let's take a moment to greet one another. First to our friends on Zoom, a big wave to our cameras, and of course we invite you to turn your cameras on so that we can see your beautiful faces and welcome you into the space. Good morning, Edith. Good morning, Carol. Good morning, Diane. Good morning, Steve. Thank you. You can shout them out, friends. Good morning, Sheila and Jim and Paul. It's so good to see everyone. Good morning, Magdalena and Jana. Thank you all for joining us, reminding us that we worship together as one beloved community beyond the walls of this fellowship. And now let's take a moment inside our space to turn and greet one another. Seek out someone you don't know very well or at all and introduce yourselves. I hope you met some new friends today, and I invite you to continue your conversations during our hospitality time after the service today. A special welcome to our newcomers, to those of you who are joining us for the first or second time. We know it takes a lot of courage to check out a new community, and we're so delighted that you have chosen us this morning. We hope that you will take some time to introduce yourselves to us or to other new people you haven't met yet during our hospitality time after the service or in the chat if you're joining us online. We have some newcomer forms in our entryways that we invite you to fill out. We'll also drop a link in the chat so that we can keep you up to date with all that is happening in our fellowship. We'll be having a new member joining ceremony here on Sunday, November 23rd. If you're interested in becoming a member, you can speak to me or you can speak to Nan in the office. A few other quick announcements we have. Some of you may have read that in light of the threat to SNAP benefits, we've been partnering with Idaho 5051 to extend the hours of our food pantry and extend donations. So we have now, our food pantry is staffed 4 weekdays and then a couple of hours on Sunday. We encourage you to continue to donate to the food pantry so we can keep up, but also to help us spread the word. We have some we'll have some door hangers very soon, so if you would like to help canvass our neighborhood or nearby neighborhoods, we would love your help to do that. And I also want to remind you that our third annual International Holiday Bazaar will happen after the service on November 23rd. This is that beautiful event sponsored by our Refugee and Immigrant Justice Ministry team, where artisans from our community, refugees, new American artisans, come together here in our North Wing to sell all of their crafts and for you to purchase for the holidays. And it's a beautiful celebration, and I can tell you some things from artists sell out very quickly, so you'll definitely want to get in there and get those gifts. Each week, we begin our worship service by centering ourselves and grounding ourselves, lighting our flaming chalice, symbol of our free faith, a beacon of hope, love, and justice. We light our chalice in solidarity with thousands of other Unitarian Universalists lighting chalices today across the globe, reminding us that we are connected to a great community of faith and love. We share in this chalice lighting with one another, with our members, our young people, and our elders to remind us that we are one beloved community working together to create a brighter future for everyone. So today, I would like to invite Michael Howard to come up and be our chalice lighter. Stay with me, Michael. It's your first time, right? I'd like to introduce our first-time chalice lighter, Michael Howard. Michael, tell us 2 things that you love to do in your free time. Read.
Quiet music.
And quiet music. Oh, well, then you'll love today's service, all dedicated to music. Thank you, Michael. Friends, we invite you to be chalice lighters. If you would like to be a chalice lighter, please come talk to me. Thank you so much. I invite us to rise in body and spirit to sing together that beautiful new gathering hymn, our hymn of the month, that beautiful new version of For the Beauty of the Earth, which you have on the papers around you. And remember how we broke up into groups last time, right? We have the main body of the chant, the harmonies are the wings, and then the wingtips and the descant, right? If you don't know what I'm talking about, listen to your neighbor and follow along, or follow the voices up here.
We come from and live on land considered sacred by many indigenous peoples, known as Bannock, Shoshone, Paiute, and many other tribes that lived here sustainably for thousands of years, inhabiting a vast region including much of Idaho.
We recognize the long history of the land, long before colonization, and acknowledge the ancient tribes whose names have been lost in history.
With this acknowledgement, we wish to demonstrate our commitment to dismantling the legacies of settler colonialism. We honor Indigenous peoples' connection to the land and support their right to sovereignty.
In the challenges of these truths, may we move through the world bringing justice in every way that we can, listening to the truths spoken to us by Native American peoples, making space for them to re-inhabit this place, and giving them back the resources they need to heal their communities.
Our spiritual theme for this month of November is nurturing gratitude. Today, our service celebrates our collective gratitude for the incredible music program in this fellowship and 20-plus years of service by our fabulous music and choir director, Carrie Bastian. Earlier this year, Carrie let me know that she was like, Sarah, my 20th anniversary is coming up. And I thought, wonderful, we're gonna plan this big celebration. And then Rachel went back through our personnel files and discovered that, in fact, this was year 21. So here we are. But because of this month of gratitude, Carrie offered to select music and preach a sermon today reflecting on the theme of thank you for the music. So that is how this service came to be. Selected music for our choir as a way for all of us to be able to say thank you to Carrie and to our fellowship and say thank you for the music. And so Carrie, today's flowers on our chancel were designed by Carol Elmore and are for you to take home with a beautiful ribbon that is personalized just for you. So as we enter into this time of worship, let us take a moment to breathe together. Fill your body with breath. Let that breath fill you with gratitude. With gratitude for this beloved community, for the care and connection, for the hope and healing, for the refuge of this beautiful, sacred sanctuary. Fill your body with breath, knowing that our breath connects us to one another and to our planet, offering us an opportunity for stillness, to listen deeply to our heart's own longing. As you hear the words of our opening poem this morning, I invite you to hear the thines and thous as spoken to music in gratitude for the music of this community and our lives. Thou art the song of my heart in the morning. Thou art the dawn of truth in my soul. Thou art the dew of the roses adorning. Thou art the woven whole. Thine is the grace to be steadfast in danger. Thine is the peace that none can destroy. Thine is the face of the need-riven stranger. Thine are the wings of joy. Thou art the deep, to the deep in me calling. Thou art a lamp where my feet shall tread. Thy way is steep past the peril of falling. Thou art my daily bread. Thine be the praise of my spirit uplifted. Thou art the sea to each flowing stream. Thine be the praise that is gathered and sifted. Thou art the deathless dream.
First was the world as one great symbol made, with jarring wings to infant nature played. Our music was a solitary sound to hollow rocks and murmuring
Our call to worship this morning is from Richard Gilbert. It was written in response to this quote from economist and former Secretary General of the United Nations, Dag Hammarskjöld. Each morning, we must hold out the chalice of our being to receive, to carry, and give back. Each morning, we hold out the chalice of being to be filled with the graces of life that abound. Air to breathe, food to eat, companions to love, beauty to behold, music to cherish, causes to serve. They come in ritual procession, these gifts of life. Whether we deserve them, we cannot know or say, for they are poured out of us. Our task is to hold steady the chalice of our being. We carry the chalice with us as we go, either meandering aimlessly or with destination in our eye. We share its abundance, if we have any sense, reminding others as we remind ourselves of the contents of the chalice we don't deserve. Water from living streams fills it, if only we hold it out faithfully. We give back, if we can, something of ourselves, some love, some beauty, some music, some gift. We give back in gratitude, if we can, something like what is poured into our chalice of being. For those who abide with us and will follow, each morning we hold out the chalice of our being to receive, to carry, to give back. Come, let us worship together. With our promise of building beloved community, we celebrate our commitments to being a multi-generational community, a community of generosity and of care and connection. In that spirit, I'd like to invite all the children up for our time for all ages. Travis, where do you want them
right
today?
here.
Where do you want them?
Right here. Actually, we're going to sit on the floor so you can view up here. All right. How's everybody doing? Let me get my thumbs up from the congregation. All right. Woo! Welcome. Welcome. Today, since our service today is about music, we are going to tell the story of the magic drum, Justin and I. All right. The magic drum. So you'll see Justin here brought something very special. He brought his big drum. Now a drum can make a sound all by itself, but Justin, who also leads our drum circle that follows immediately after the service, knows that the music of one drum by itself is a nice sound, but to really make music, we all must join together. So let's make our own drum circle here. Everybody do your own thing. That deserves a big thumbs up. All right. So today's story is about a drum that brought people together. So one day in a village, there was a young man named Kofi. Say hi to Kofi. Hi, Kofi. And he loved to help others. He shared his food, he shared his time, he shared his smiles. And one day, he went on a walk through the forest. And as he was walking, he heard a soft beat. And as he walked, it got louder and louder. And as he opened up into a clearing, he followed the sound, and in that open field, he saw a drum. A drum, a lone drum. And he picked up the drum, And as he touched it, boom, the drum spoke. "Kofi," said the drum, "when you play me, I will fill the air with joy. But use me only to bring people together. Never for greed, for pride." And Kofi promised. And he made his way back to the village. And he brought his drum home to the village, and soon there was a sound of laughter, and joy filled the air. The drum played by itself, and everybody danced and joined in together. Even the goats were so happy they joined in the big dance. And the village had never been so happy. But then one day, the greedy king, he heard about the magic drum, and he wanted it all for himself. And he sent his guards to take the drum from Kofi. Boo, it's okay, boo. But when the king played the drum, expecting a grand party, nothing happened. He hit it again. And instead of a grand noise, plop, oh, a bowl of yucky porridge spilled all over his regal feet. And the king shouted, "Drum, why won't you obey me?" And from somewhere deep inside, the drum replied, "Joy cannot be taken. It can only be shared." And the king thought about what the drum said and realized, his plan just wasn't going to work. And the king slumped down. And ashamed and sticky with porridge, the king returned the drum to Kofi. And when Kofi played it again, once again, beautiful music floated out. Songs of friendship and laughter that reached the whole land. And from that day on, whenever people heard the great drum, they remembered that joy, true joy, grows only when it's shared. In our UU community, something similar. Happiness, love, and belonging grow stronger the more we share. Each of us has our own drum. We make our own drum. And a drum can be lots of different things. It can be a smile. It can be your art. It can be singing. It can be kindness. It's all those things that you share out into the world. We all have our own drum. And when we share those gifts, we help the whole world sing a little louder. The end. All right, my friends, we are going to do our community blessing. And as we sing, we will head out over to our RE class, and we will be led by Kofi, our regal.
When we give, we say yes to the natural cycle of abundance in our lives. And we give as a way to express our gratitude for what we have received and then share it as an expression of our highest values and our commitment to building beloved communities within and beyond our walls. With our offering gifts, we commit ourselves to do the work for justice and compassion for all people and our earth. We share these gifts this month with our plate partner, the Shoshone-Paiute tribes of the Duck Valley Reservation, as an expression of that commitment to living out our faith in the world. Here to share more about our ongoing partnership with Duck Valley is Tom Neal from our Racial Justice Ministry team.
Thank you, Reverend Sarah. And wow. Okay, this is a pretty nice space we have here. It's wonderful to see this beloved community and all your beautiful faces. It's so sweet. And this has been a tribute for Carrie, and I'm sorry that they didn't have time to include my Elvis impression, which I was sorry I can't fit it into the program today. But anyway, you're probably all better off for it. But anyway, I'm going to try to keep to what I wrote. And again, my name is Tom Neal. I speak for the Racial Justice Ministry. In behalf of our indigenous neighbors, the Shoshone-Paiute tribe that lives at Duck Valley. Duck Valley is about 120 miles from here, about 2.5-hour drive on the Idaho-Nevada border. I have mentioned before that I read a life-changing book back in the 90s. The book was titled, When Jesus Came, the Corn Mothers Went Away. It is a history of the Spanish invasion that forced European culture and religion on the native peoples of the Southwest. Suppose we were to write a comparable story for our region. We might title it, When the Trappers, Miners, and Missionaries Came, the Mother Salmon and the original caretakers of this land went away. This land is the homeland of the original Boise Valley people, the Niue, the Numu, the Numa, and I've lost my place. And this land that we worship on was especially sacred to them as a regular meeting place because of the salmon, the warm springs, and the many and varied trees. The broken and unratified treaties that our government made banished the Shoshone-Paiute, the Shoshone-Bannock, and other tribes to remote, restricted land. This enabled settler colonialists to exploit the resources of this region. The original caretakers of this land for more than 13,000 years have not gone away. I don't know if you can imagine 13,000 years. If this was 13,000 years, this would be 150 years since we've come into their culture. And I think they're an example of culture shock, really, as much as you can imagine what culture shock might be. And I think they're still living it. So they are still here today, and they're raising their families and live at Duck Valley. And we aim to establish right relations with them as our indigenous neighbors. As a historically conscious congregation, we recognize the harm that lives in our history, the harm that continues to this day. We attempt to right a wrong, work to repair, to offer reparation. We call it establishing right relations with our neighbors. Hopefully, healing can happen for all of us. Here are the ways we at Booth have worked to further our relations with our Duck Valley neighbors. For the past 4 years, we have collected coats for the young people of Duck Valley. We have had a wonderful outpouring of generosity for this fall's collection, sending over 200 coats and hygiene products, thanks to the many of you that donated even here. So it's been a wonderful collection. We supplemented their library with books written by Native authors for their young students. Last spring, we worked with the Boise Bicycle Project by providing hot dogs and burgers for the youth and their families as they requested. And we've participated in field trips, retreats, and mentoring playwriting workshops for high school students sponsored by the Kessler Keener Foundation. So we were happy to host our speakers last year ago. Lenneal Brady and Delmar Kelly gave the presentation for Indigenous Peoples Day. And sometimes I still choke up a little bit about remembering the song they brought and the stories of their history came. It was just such an amazing, wonderful event. And so we carry on the tradition with Indigenous Peoples Day every October. So we are pretty honored to be able to have you as a plate partner, have us as a plate partner for them today. So there are many ways our plate offering may be utilized at Duck Valley. They are in the process of building a new school. They're trying to create a baseball field. They are enhancing their medical facility. They're creating hiking trails. They have new housing being constructed as we speak. And their challenges have not been diminished. Recently, 198 tribal members have had their SNAP funds for food threatened, and they're looking for ways to replace that funding. In closing, we are pleased that they have grown to trust us as their neighbors. And I would also like to invite you to go visit. It's not that bad of a drive, really. And I've been living in Idaho for 9 years now. I see that distance and time is different for Idahoans, and they don't see it as a hindrance really, but really as an invitation to let's take to the road, and a couple hours away for skiing, no problem. Go up to McCall, easy. Hell's Canyon nearby, Oregon, real close, and so 2.5 hours down to Duck Valley through the sea of sagegrass is really a nice time to reflect and enjoy the beautiful sky and the beautiful planet and our state. And so I invite you down there because you can get to know the people very easily. They're very welcoming, and we get to know all the social service people. We get to know the counselors at the high school. We get to know the speakers that have come down and visited with us. And they would express their thanks to us and they have done that beautifully, thanking us for all we have done for them. And so just think this is our opportunity to really work with them and treat them as our neighbors. And I'm grateful to all of you for being able to contribute to that. I think it's easy. Some of us are pledge people, and the plate goes by us in some ways because we've given other ways. But you can just see in that little QR code box on there, you can put your phone up there and it'll take you right to the way to give. And we'll hope you'll consider Duck Valley for your offering and your generosity. And I want you to also know, I'm almost done, that we really want to invite you out for this beautiful fall weather, and these grounds are beautiful. The grove is golden at this moment. So please avail yourselves of this quick season. It's been a beautiful, long, beautiful fall season. So please make sure you see it and enjoy it and take part in it. And again, thank you. I offer a lotus to each and every one of you. Thank you so much. And thank you, Reverend Sara and Carrie.
Thank you, Tom, and a thank you to our racial justice ministry team, to Mark Bussolini, who stewards this coat drive every year, and members of the Social Justice Council for supporting, on behalf of all of us, that ongoing relationship with Duck Valley. This is part of how we live out the commitments we make in that land acknowledgement that we play every single week. I invite our ushers to please come forward. Our offering will now be gratefully received. Yeah, oh, yes.
Okay, Carrie wanted this song for the offering. You all know it. I just found it like really late last night, so I make a lot of mistakes. So sing along. I know you're going to know it, and you'll cover my mistakes.
As our ushers bring our offering gifts forward, I invite us all to join together in the collective blessing of this offering this morning. We bless these gifts so freely given. May generosity always be our companion as we walk the holy path toward ever greater compassion and beauty. Thank you. Our reading this morning is from Tony Hoagland. This is his poem, Butter. I think it was Marie, or maybe Carrie, that's my addition, who first taught me the art of spreading flattery on people, then smearing it around like marmalade on slabs of whole wheat bread, or how to spray them lightly with a mist of unexpected praise from one of those special nozzles you attach to the end of your garden hose. Walking around with her that year, I watched how she would lubricate the world. Nuns and firemen, nannies and human resource managers, 9-year-old kids in city playgrounds, and widows selling flags in the park. Pretty soon, I started doing it myself, telling this person and that how good they look today, how rare it is to see a job well done, how excellent their taste in clothes. I liked the way that even the most crusty and resistant at first would startle under the assault and then start to flourish under the effect. Why did I ever think that approval was gratuitous? Why did it take me so long to see that the power of sweetness is as great as the power of the river and the sun? If I can't improve the world by scorching it with truth, if I can't conquer it by twisting its arm behind its back, then give me some adjectives like lipstick and gloss. Give me some language like mint and honey for the heart. I will lavish the world with the power of butter. I will force it to feel good about itself. First, I will make it blush, then I will step back and watch it shine. So, Carrie, let us have a moment to lavish you with gratitude, spreading around our flattery and praise like butter. For all the stunning music you shower us with every week, week after week, your own talent, your wrangling and championing the talents of others, the molding and shaping of our choir into melodic and harmonic submission, round vowels, support from the diaphragm, sing to the center of the pitch, with direction that leads us every step of the way, if only we look up from our music. Thank you.
All right. It's November, the season of gratitude. As I look back down the road that leads to now, I have so much to be grateful for. Our culture tells us that we succeed through rugged individualism. I'm not particularly rugged, and I have not traveled alone. My path was only made possible with the help of others. Where to begin? Let's start at the very beginning, a very good place to start. I was born nearly 6 decades ago in Santa Rosa, California, with my esophagus connected to my trachea. Anything I ate went into my lungs. I was rushed to the University of San Francisco Medical Center, where a young pediatric surgeon, Dr. Alfred DeLormer, was on staff. He said that operating on me was like trying to knit an esophagus out of wet tissue paper. After months in an incubator in the NICU, several surgeries, and the unwavering faith and prayers of my parents, I finally came home from the hospital. Thank you, Dr. DeLormer. Thank you, Mom and Dad. Without you, I wouldn't even be here. As a young child, I watched the organist's hands at church. And I would try to do the same thing on a keyboard, but couldn't understand why my fingers made really strange sounds. I was also fascinated by the chorister who led the hymns. It was like she waved a wand and people magically sang. I'd stand on our hearth, hymn book in hand, and direct my imaginary chorus with a long green tinker toy. And I'm thankful for the culture of music in the LDS Church and its positive influence on me. My mom, a fine clarinetist, attempted to give us kids piano lessons on the family Yamaha spinet. I just got frustrated and cried. Mom was probably frustrated too. Around age 7, I went to our church organist for lessons, and reading music was a struggle, and getting my fingers to obey my brain was just a slog. I did not like piano. I begged to quit regularly. Despite my protestations, thank you, Mom and Dad, for all of the piano lessons, for cheering me on and always encouraging me to stick with it. And this is them just maybe a year and a half ago. They came to my orchestra concert at Jefferson Elementary. They've been lifelong supporters. Around age 9, we moved to Morgan Hill, California. I made a new friend, Lynette Rumbaugh, and she played the cello. Her mom, Donna Rumbaugh, was the orchestra teacher at our school. With Lynette's prodding, I joined the orchestra and learned to play the violin. Not very well. Outside of school, Mrs. Rumbaugh became my new piano teacher. She was all about fun. As I got better at reading music, I actually started to enjoy playing the piano. Instead of begging to quit, I asked for more instruments to play. All in all, from 4th through 6th grades, I played the violin, piano, cello, double bass, and oboe. Thank you, Mrs. Rumbaugh, for helping me to learn to love music. Just before 7th grade, we moved to Eagle, Idaho, and I just assumed I'd join the orchestra at Lowell Scott Junior High. But in the late 70s, the Meridian School District did not have a strings program. My immature thought process went something like this: they can't get me out of music that easily. I'll just join choir. And that reaction would have long-lasting consequences. Lowell Scott's choir teacher was Dave Higginson. He was dynamic and hilarious. I fell in love with choir, but I didn't realize that I couldn't match pitch. Mr. Higginson sat me in the alto section between two girls who were much more dialed in than me, and when I didn't sing the right note, they'd elbow me and point. True. They would point in the direction of the correct pitch. It took a while, but I did learn. I'd rave about choir at the family dinner table, and by second semester, my older sister Kelly decided to join choir too. We had a great time singing in the bathroom together as we curled our 80s hair and got ready for school in the morning. Thank you, Kelly, for being my music buddy. Around this same time, I made a new friend on the block. She mentioned she had a piano teacher in the neighborhood, and wouldn't it be cool if we both had the same teacher? As a 12-year-old girl, that sounded like a good reason. What I did not know was that this teacher, Aya Tobin, was an amazing concert pianist. She corrected my poor technique and made classical music come alive. Sometimes she'd play virtuosic pieces for me, all the while telling the story she imagined the music was illustrating. And then she'd be like, and that's when the bear woke up. Aya assigned Bartók's Mikrokosmos and used them to teach me the basics of musical phrasing and dynamics. I'd never heard of Bartók. I didn't know he was a Unitarian from Hungary. All I knew was that Bartók's music was really weird and very cool. With my mildly improved piano skills, I volunteered to accompany my school choir. I overestimated my ability and had no idea how to follow a conductor. Mr. Higgins pounded on the piano. He'd be like, "Stay with me, Bastian. Stay with me." I bombed, and in his goofy way, he'd say, "Okay, choir, let's vote. Do we keep her or throw her out?" Now, that might crush a kid, but there was no vote, and we all had a good laugh. I did take the piano part to my lessons with Aya and practiced a lot and gradually became an accompanist. At the end of that school year, I learned that both my choir and piano teacher were moving out of state. I'd grown to love them deeply and was devastated. Thank you, Mr. Higginson, for giving me the kind of choir experience that left me forever changed. Thank you, Aya, for helping me love classical music and inspiring me to do the work to learn to play it. Before Aya moved, she went piano teacher shopping for me, so I didn't just pick whatever random teacher my friend down the street had. And she found Yvonne Higgins, a truly excellent teacher. Yvonne was strict and demanding, but underneath it all, there was affection and a deep love for the music of the great composers. She taught me to play Bach, Haydn, Chopin, and 2-octave scales, ascending, contrary motion, and descending in every key. It's a lot. Thank you, Yvonne, for holding the bar high and for insisting that I meet your expectations. In high school, I sang under the direction of 2 wonderful choir instructors, Bruce Walker and Quinn Van Papeghem. Both of them encouraged me as a singer and pianist. They provided opportunities to lead and perform and selected music that moved me to the core. To Bruce and Quinn, thank you for the many beautiful choral experiences and for nurturing me as a musician. When I entered university at age 18, I declared music theater was my major. I'd sung in choir, I'd taken a few drama classes in high school, and I loved Broadway musicals. Ever since I was a little girl, I think I wore that copy of Fiddler on the Roof right out on my Fisher-Price turntable. So, I was ready, right? Well, not so much. With 0 dance training, I was so far behind. And to make matters worse, my voice teacher at BYU told me I would never pass a jury. She heard something funny in my voice and said, "You need to pick a new major. You just don't have the instrument for vocal music." I was crushed. So I became a psychology major. Got to figure it out, right? And then I got married, and I had 2 wonderful daughters. And I stepped away from higher education for a while I cared for them. During their young lives, I taught countless piano lessons and served in many callings in the LDS Church in music. When Bonnie was 5 and I was carrying Melinda, I decided to resume piano lessons and studied with Dr. Del Parkinson. He was incredibly skilled, knowledgeable, and very kind. I left every piano lesson feeling more accomplished than when I walked in. Thank you, Del, for showing me the type of teacher I wanted to become, one that can offer correction and build confidence. When my first marriage ended, I decided to go back to college. Because of the transcendent choral experiences of my youth, I knew I wanted to become a choir director. In the fall of '99, I enrolled at Boise State as a music education major. To complete this degree, one learns to play all the instruments of the orchestra, rather poorly, I might add. But you do. They're not. But you have to pick a primary instrument for the recital requirement. And that should have been piano for me, but I thought if I'm going to teach choir, I should probably learn to sing. I must at this point again express gratitude to my mom and dad and to my sister Kelly, who often cared for my daughters while I was at school. I cannot thank you enough for your help and support during that challenging time. My voice teacher at Boise State was the outstanding Dr. Christopher Rains. He heard that same something funny in my voice, but instead of telling me I'd never pass a jury, he told me to go to an ear, nose, and throat doctor. After a laryngoscopy, they found that my right vocal fold was paralyzed and my left vocal fold was compensating for the defect, something that was most likely related to the surgeries in my infancy. It's why my voice always sounds like I just smoked a cigar. Chris liked to joke that I was singing with one vocal cord tied behind my back. And I still do. There was discussion, so I was told, amongst the voice faculty as to whether I'd even be allowed to continue with a damaged instrument. And Chris told them I'd been making solid progress under his instruction, and it stood to reason that if I kept working hard, I'd continue to improve. He said, "You're not trying to become a professional opera singer. You want to become a teacher. And maybe after overcoming your own vocal issues, you'll be better able to help others with theirs." He believed in me, helped me pass my juries, and successfully complete my senior recital in voice. All of this was happening, well, let me tell you, it took a lot to get there. All of this was happening during a personally wrenching time in my life, and my voice lessons often turned into therapy sessions. I was in the middle of a contentious divorce and struggling with my faith. Chris offered encouragement and support and really listened. And at one point, he even said, "You might like the Unitarians." I filed that bit of information away for several years, and Chris's wife, the incredible Dr. Laura Rushing-Rains, was also an inspiration. I learned from her as I accompanied in her voice studio and watched her teach. Chris and Laura, wherever you are out there, I will be forever grateful to you both for your generosity of spirit and fine instruction. I learned so much from all of my Boise State professors, but one who stands out is Dr. Jean Belfi. She challenged me intellectually and was a true role model. Dr. Belfi showed me what a smart, knowledgeable, accomplished female musician and academic looked like. She lit a fire in me for research, writing, and music history. After one class discussion, as I left, she noted that I might like National Public Radio, and NPR, as we all know, is the gateway drug to becoming a UU. I will always be grateful for her instruction, example, and encouragement. While at Boise State, I received instruction and was mentored by 3 superb conductors. And one of them's here today, Dr. Jim Urach. And he's amazing, folks. He was also exacting and demanding. He and I got off to a bit of a rocky start. But when he learned about my situation, that I was a single mom trying to finish a music degree, he hooked me up with the PEO, a philanthropic sisterhood that supports women in higher education. The PEO ladies, of which our own Charlotte Tompkins was a part, gave me a much-needed scholarship, along with care packages and moral support. Thank you, Dr. J, for connecting me with this invaluable resource, and for just your musicianship and the time I sang with you. Thank you. Another mentor conductor was Dr. Giselle Wires. She brought so much artistry and passion to the choral department at Boise State. My senior year, she let me lead the Meister Singers in Haydn's Awake the Harp at St. John's Cathedral. Some of you remember we did that a couple Easters ago. I remember that moment distinctly. As I conducted, I felt this rush of joy, a kind of spiritual confirmation that I was on the right path in life. About a dozen of our booth choir members, including me and David, will travel to New York City this summer and sing under Dr. Wires' baton at Carnegie Hall. So excited to sing with her again. There are so many more teachers, colleagues, and collaborators to thank. My instrumental conducting professor, Marcellus Brown, for his passion and for teaching me how to use a baton. Ted Tortorica and Judy Van Persum for mentoring me through student teaching. My grad school professors, Dr. William Bellin and Don Brinegar, for their wealth of knowledge and inspiration. Dr. Sebastian Valle for guiding me through my master's thesis. My grad school cohorts for being just the best people and musicians, and all the public school music teachers I've worked with over the years who've been so supportive. In 2004, after my first year teaching choral music in the Nampa schools, I woke up one Sunday morning and thought, I should go to church. It had been a while since I'd attended an LDS ward, and I wasn't sure where I fit in. But I got out the yellow pages. They still had those back then. And I looked in the churches section. I scanned and saw Boise Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. Wasn't that the church that Chris had mentioned? I showed up in the North Wing for a Sunday service in August of 2004. Just like this last summer, work was being done on the sanctuary. After finding my seat, a woman, who I later learned was Jeanette Ross, sat down beside me. As the hymns began, I sang out. I loved the hymnal. The words meshed with my personal theology, and I could read the music, not just words on a screen. As soon as the service ended, Jeanette, with no preamble or introduction, you all know Jeanette. She turned to me and said, "How come you're not in the choir?" And I replied that it was my first Sunday. But actually, I was a choir director by trade. I taught middle school choir out in Nampa at that time. And Jeanette informed me that Booth was searching for its first ever paid professional choir director. Before that, they'd all been volunteers. And she encouraged me to apply. I enjoyed that service immensely. Everyone was so friendly. I thought about that choir position and decided to throw my hat in the ring. I interviewed with Reverend Elizabeth Green and Tom Von Alten, our chair of the music committee. I was not offered the job. A gal with a whole lot more experience was. However, when she realized that this was not a Christian church per se, she declined. So soon thereafter, I received a call from Reverend Green saying, "You were a strong second choice." And would you still be interested in directing our choir? I accepted, and the rest, as they say, is history. In 2008, I took on the additional role of music director, working with our minister, the worship committee, and lay musicians to produce our weekly Sunday music. I had 9 wonderful years working with Reverend Elizabeth. Our creative styles were very much in sync. I had 2 challenging and rewarding years with Reverend Dana, but to be fair, as our interim minister, Reverend Dana's job was to shake things up, and she did. I've been blessed to work with Reverend Sara for the last decade. I could not ask for a better boss. She's the boss lady. Thank you, Jeanette, for boldly inviting me to join the choir. Thank you to Reverends Elizabeth, Dana, and Sarah for 21 years of joyful collaboration. And past due thanks, oh, there you are, to Nuralima. And, I lost my spot, where are you? And now, thanks to Sue Langley and Liza Long, where are you, Sue? There, thank you. For being our just amazing choir accompanists. I appreciate you so much. And to Mike Lemieux for 3 years of fun and creativity in our hymn writing collaboration, and for his continued professional excellence and friendship. I must also give a shout out to my lovely daughters. We've been in our own little Musicians Mutual Support Club for many years. Thank you, Bonnie. Thank you, Melinda, for the many times you've contributed to music here at Booth. And that's Melinda singing at Carnegie Hall, and that is Bonnie directing the 200-plus marching band at University of Massachusetts. I gotta say, that was a favorite moment for me as a mom, because Bonnie's, what, 5'2"? I don't know. 5'4", oh, sorry. Anyway. And she's up on this podium, and she's surrounded by about 20 sousaphones, and they were doing an arrangement of the Berlioz Symphonie Fantastique, and these tubas were blasting the Dies Irae, and I was like, yeah, that's my girl. Anyway, and you've all got to hear Melinda sing and her just beautiful voice. All right, sorry, I digress. Thank you for all the music love we shared over the years. And we might have a couple of future musicians. And maybe they'll join our little club someday. And then there is my beloved David. At some point, you realized you would never see me on Wednesday nights if you didn't join the choir. Thank you for stepping up and into the tenor section, and for all of the adventures we've shared, musical and otherwise, over the past 18 years. I love you. In 2018, our Booth Choir went on pilgrimage to Romania. We sang for our partner church in the village of Mescu and in towns throughout the Transylvania region, connecting with the deep roots of our Unitarian heritage. Thank you to each choir member who took on the year-long project of preparing an hour's worth of a cappella music for that tour. It was truly a life-changing experience and a peak experience. For my day job, I've taught choir and orchestra in Idaho Public Schools for the last 23 years, and I thank all the students who've been a part of my journey, and there's one very special one, Sydney, or Shay, where are you? Shay, yay, who came. She was in my middle school choir out of East Valley, and we had so much fun. These past 20 years at Booth, I've accompanied, performed, and directed more songs and musical programs than I can count, and it has been one of the great joys of my life. Church music is not a solo endeavor. I couldn't direct the choir if people didn't show up for rehearsal and come early on performance Sundays. Furthermore, when I've thrown Vivaldi, Haydn, Bruckner, Sondheim, and Imagine Dragons at you, and when I've asked you to sing in Arabic, French, Hungarian, Maori, and Spanish, even English sometimes, with all of its tricky vowels, you've risen to the challenge every time. Thank you. If you have been in choir since I began in 2004, please stand. I know you're out there. Oh, yeah. Yay. Stay. If you are now or have ever been a part of Booth Choir, if you're a former teacher or student of mine, if we've ever made music together, please stand. And I'm just going to say, and if you've ever had to sing a hymn that you just thought, what is she thinking? Please stand. Anyway, thank you for the music. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the music, Carrie. I had the good fortune of joining the choir in 2018 for our trip to Transylvania, in which Carrie mentioned, and I just want to reiterate, we rehearsed for a year ahead of time. And it was such a delightful experience to be in the choir and to be the recipient of Carrie's beautiful direction and music ministry. And I remember after some time in, Tom Van Alten turned to me and said, "You're very quiet back there, Reverend Sara." And I said, "Well, Tom, this is not my show. And also, I am not about to be the minister who is the raucous student talking over the choir director." So I really trained myself to be the best possible choir student and learned so much. And I will let you in on a little secret. It is beautiful to listen and watch the choir, but when we are up here, we get to watch Carrie direct. And that is its own magical beauty. It really is a delightful experience. I invite you to take a peek when she's directing. Each week, we take time to acknowledge the joys among us and grieve our sorrows and losses, to share with one another the milestones and challenges of our lives, to remind each other that we do not journey in this life alone. It's through our sharing with one another that we forge those deep bonds of community and connection. Today, we share these joys and sorrows. We share the sorrow that Dennis Rockwood suffered a small stroke and has been hospitalized, but is recovering well. I got to see him last week. We send our thoughts and love and prayers to our chalice lighter, Michael Howard, as he goes in for heart surgery very soon. We celebrate with Janet McClenahan as she celebrates a brand new grandbaby coming into this world. And we celebrate with choir member Janice Alexander, who is turning 50 today. Happy birthday, Janice. And of course, all of those challenges and sorrows in our lives that we hold close. If you are holding someone in your heart this morning, I invite you to speak their name aloud into this community of love that we might hold them with you. May the arms of this community hold all our joys and sorrows, those shared aloud and those we hold silent and close to our hearts. May we feel the grace and joy in the room, with that gentleness to soothe our aching hearts, and the joy to lift our spirits. Let us breathe together. Fill your body with breath. Breathe with this beloved community filled with loving kindness. Breathe with wholeheartedness. Listen to what is calling you in the silence. Spirit of life and love, holy mystery. So much joy and love comes alive in this space. Through words and music that open the doorways to hope, healing, compassion, and transformation. Through the soaring notes that crack us open, holding our tender hearts and weary souls, reminding us that in spite of all that is erupting around us, the fear and pain, the grief and loss, the uncertainty and anxiety, beauty remains, joy remains, hope remains. And we are not alone. Life still finds a way through, and we are held by something larger, by that ground of being, by that which holds all, by that love which will not let us go. Floating along on the melodies, hidden in the harmonies, dancing in the descants, the steady beat of beloved community thrumming in our hearts. May we never stop listening, never stop singing, never stop hoping, never stop loving one another and this world. In the name of all that is holy, we pray. Amen. Carrie. Thank you, choir. Would you come and join us up here, please? This is for you as a thank you gift. And please don't forget your flowers. And come stand. Carrie, thank you for the music, for the gorgeous golden thread that weaves our worship services together, for all that it ignites within us, lifting our hearts, sometimes with tears, sometimes with hope, and always with joy and love. Friends, I invite you to place your hands over your heart. Take this music home. Take this holy music with you. Hold on to its beauty and power with gratitude, and let it soothe you and inspire you. Let it touch your heart and soul to keep showing up, keep giving thanks, keep bringing your light and your love into this world. Blessed are we all. Go in peace. Okay.